Oops. Hello and welcome, dearest. I'm Grandma Mimsy. This is part 2 of Plaid question and answer with the multiple plates, and I'm going to pick up really quick where I left off because I think this concept can help so many people in so many different ways, not just with your nail art, but it is important to understand, especially for your nail art. So, recapping where I was at as far as what I was saying is that as humans, we're born with the understanding of visual cues, of body language, what you see from the expression of another person. You can immediately, you don't have to speak the same language, but you know if someone is happy or sad or upset or mad or whatever the feelings are. You understand what that other person and their intention to some degree is based on the way that they appear. So visually and how we feel on the inside to some degree, we are sharing that in an emotional way, in a signal, much like a radio signal or the TV signals that used to be over the airways. Basically, and they've done studies on this, that your heart, your body, you give off auras, all these different things that they have scientifically tested to some degree. You are sharing all of that with the world, and other people can pick up on that. It's like when you walk into a room, you can sometimes feel a shift. You can see how people are looking at you, and if people know you and are mad and pissed off at something you did, you know damn well. Sorry. You know doggone well that they're not happy with you. And if they're all, if you walk in and next thing you know, everyone's staring at you, it's like, what are you wearing? What do you look like? What's the deal with why are you late? Are you, all these things kind of factor into how we perceive each other. And they've done studies that have said you pretty much have like 3 seconds to make a first impression. And a lot of times it's really hard to overcome what that initial first impression is based on what people perceive of you on the outside. Is it fair? Is it right? Nah, but that's what we do. So on the mental level of things, you mentally communicate in a way that may not necessarily be effective. So language became something that was necessary, because if there's a tree over there and you're pointing at it, what do you want to convey to the other individual or groups? What is about that tree? Is it you want to go sit under it? You want to pick the fruit from it? Do you want to chop it down? Do you want to protect it? All of those things, you can't just in a gesture very easily convey a message about the tree that's, several yards away. What is it that you're trying to express? What do you want? Are you asking questions? Do you have a statement? I mean, there's so much that goes into how we communicate that a lot of people don't understand. So again, mentally, we can understand, people, places, things that we've seen or experienced or have been told about. We can visually acquire those in our brain, but words that are contractions or of a negative nature don't really have a translation in the abstract of our brains to be able to process that. So when someone says a sentence to you that is confusing, your brain doesn't comprehend. So if you're saying don't jump in the house or don't run in the house, the don't word gets crossed out, as I was saying earlier. Don't forget to pick up something on the way home. The don't gets crossed out. So what you're essentially saying then, if you take the don't out, you are giving them permission, you are instructing them to do the exact opposite of what you're trying to say. So you have to adjust the wording of what you're saying, how you think, how you explain, how the details matter of things. That, honey, remember to pick up the dry cleaning on the way home. Honey, remember there's an event after work tonight. We have dinner plans. Honey, fill in the blank. You want to replace don'ts with remember. I'm reminding you. Oh yeah, you need to keep that in your brain, because our brains are hardwired for the unconscious physical clues of things in our environment, the things that we can picture or understand. Language, our mind has to create the visual, not the visual, the neural pathways. For language, your brain actually has to create a file space and room in your brain, the neural pathways, for it to form language. And anybody can learn a language, because you can take a baby born into any place in the world and give it to different parents who have now adopted it. And that child, even though it's not the same race, culture, or anything else, that child will grow up learning what the cultures and the language of the adopted parents are, regardless of anything. But that's about 50% of its environment is the external that you give it. The hardwired things, the biological things, you can't change those. That's the other 50%. So, and they've done studies, it's fascinating, on twins who were separated at birth, and they ended up doing pretty much the exact same things. They had different environments, different parents, different learning, things that they were exposed to, and perspectives, but they all married wives that had the same name or similar name. They married, had children, and gave those children similar names. They worked in similar industries where they had jobs doing pretty much the same thing. Their lives were almost literally identical, and yet at the same time they had interests and hobbies that were both identical and opposite, where they had nothing to do with each other. So the environmental factors contributed to them to be able to figure out other things that interested them that were different. And then you had the biological factors that triggered them to learn things that were both similar to what they would had they been in the same environment. And Hubster's a twin, so I could tell you, they are nothing alike. I got the good twin. Sorry. Don't mind me. Anyway, how you think about how you do something. There's a guru out there that says how you do one thing is how you do everything. So as I was saying in my earlier explanation, if you're going to a cabinet and someone says, hey, go get me something, and you keep going, I can't find it, I don't see it, it's not here. So by that definition and explanation that I just gave, your brain is going to filter out. You're not going to be able to see it. And then the other person walks over and goes, look, it's right here, right in front of you. How could you not see that? If it was something, it would have bit you. Kind of thing, because you already told your brain you didn't want to do it, you're being stubborn, you whatever the thing was that you're saying to yourself is the reason that you said, I can't see it, I can't find it, I don't know how you would, how do you figure out anything in this mess? Because you've already programmed your brain to shut off and say, nope, it's not there. You won't see it. And that's a proven situation. Try it. Try it with the people around you. And if you think that I'm talking some wackadoodle stuff that has nothing to do with anything, test these things out. Write these things down so that you have the don't do this, do this, kind of categories, or yes, do this, what not to do. See, there's no way around the no's. The not is basically going to cancel out everything. So you're going to write down the sentences of you're going to say this or you're going to say that, and practice out on your family and friends. See how the different things work. You don't have to give them the explanation. Just do the alternative and see what you're getting. And the other thing with parenting and other people around you, if you are trying to get them because you want a specific outcome, you want a behavior, you want compliance in X, Y, and Z, then if they're just not doing it and you go, okay, remember, this is what you need to do, and then they still do the things that are unwanted, then basically start with the open-ended questions, because a closed question only has a yes or no answer. An open-ended question requires an explanation. There's a sentence in there that you fill in. So if you go, all right, remember, we're not running in the house because that's not, it's a safety issue. We're running in the house is something that, please don't run in the house, you might break something. And then they're still running around in the house. Then you go, okay, please explain to me why I've asked you to run outside and to walk calmly in the house, but you're still running around in the house. Please tell me why. Ask questions of why are you still doing these things? And then pause. Don't say anything. Don't fill in the blanks. Don't try to answer for them. Don't keep questioning. You ask the question and let them think. Because especially with kids, they have to feel their way up. Well, I'm excited. I'm this, that, and the other thing. Oh, okay, get your jacket on, go outside. But it's cold outside. Well, then bundle up. Bundle up, and when you're running around, you won't feel cold. It's easier to get people to comply. If you have a coworker who is just slacking off, it's like, okay, my biggest question for a lot of places where you are in somewhat of a service capacity and you are doing a really bad job, do you need more training? Are you happy working here? I mean, my biggest one is, why are you here? Because, you could get a paycheck any place. You could go work anywhere that, you could apply to. Why did you choose this place to get a job if you want to be incompetent or, to get that paycheck? Because if this job isn't lighting you up, and I say this because there's a lot of places out there that we frequent that I'm kind of going, why are you working in this place where you are messing up so bad? Is that the only place you could get a job and you just say, and you don't care? You should care. Go find a job someplace else that if you really don't care, go find a job where it doesn't matter that you don't care. But that's just my 2 cents, and I'll step off that soapbox and not go down that road. But the mindset of how you do things. So if you're constantly going, oh, I can't do that. I'm not creative. Oh, wow, you do such a, I love your designs. There's no way I could compete that I can. Yeah, you can't. You could do this just as well as I can. You just need to forgive yourself, give yourself the permission, forgive yourself from your past mistakes, give yourself the permission. And as I've said over and over again, the little engine that could, I think I can, and just keep saying, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. Grandma Mimsy says I can do this, so I should be able to do this. It's okay. I'm gonna keep trying until I get it. Because I think I can. I know I can do this. Grandma Mimsy says I can do this. So I know I have the dexterity to do this. So I'm going to get this. And wouldn't it be nice if I get to be able to figure out how to do this and I have such lovely nails? Oh my goodness. And the thing is that, as I've said before, do the most basic thing. Find the most outrageous, bold design, color palette, and swatch up something amazingly simple and basic, and go out in public and see the compliments you get. See the reactions that you get from strangers. Be there with your hands, just kind of like how you're just holding, your hands in front of things, just kind of like not necessarily, how you hand the money to, just accentuate your fingers. You don't have to be, outrageous about it or extreme about it or over the top. Just kind of, if you talk with your hands or, hand things over or whatever the case. And just people will see. And I'm telling you, I wasn't even trying to get people to see my nails. I was hiding my nails. And next thing I know, I still had 10 people going, oh, that's so cute. It's an amazing feeling. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time on this concept. There will be one more video that I can tell of at this point because I have other things to address, but a lot of that has to do with me finding the plate and coming back to answer the other questions on that. Or if there's any other questions down the road, I'll be back with another video about plaids specifically, if you want. You all have a nice day. Have a wonderful holiday season coming up. Please be kind. Mail is crawling past snail speed, so don't be upset that your nail goodies and packages are not arriving when you'd like to. Just embrace the the words I'm trying to come up with. Embrace the humanity of the season and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon. Bye.